Do you even watch TV in the first place?
People want dynamic content.
We have seen an incredible shift in the way TVs look.
I've been selling a black and white television, and I see today we are selling a mini LED.
When you put it that way, it's a very thin slice of time, but then a lot of evolution happening. Hello and welcome to MSP Tech in Focus, where we talk about the new wave of tech and the difference that it makes. Today we are going to be talking all about TVs. Where are they headed? What are the choices available? And what are the people buying? For this, we have Anshika Jain, Senior Research Analyst at Counterpoint India, who will be the cerebral force of this entire conversation, providing us with great in-depth research-based insights. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
And we also have the very charismatic NS Satish, President Hire Appliances India. He has become a bit of a celebrity on our channel because we have featured him twice in our YouTube videos.
Thank you.
I should be thanking you for having us here at this incredible facility that you have in Greater Noida.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to host you.
So let's start off with an open-ended question. Do you even watch TV in the first place? And what are you consuming? Let's start with Anshika first.
Frankly speaking, my TV consumption is very limited. Whenever I have time, I mainly switch to the OTT platform to look out for any new series. Or if my friend has recommended me something like any new shows or any new movie, I just follow that.
And what about you, sir?
On an average, probably about an hour a day, just to unwind myself. Again, content is, okay, if it's a cricket or any sports, tennis or football, I just watch that, and then otherwise any OTT, just do some binge watching.
Do you guys think that there's still an audience that watches or listens to music on TVs? Because I think that's a really interesting use case if you think about it. Because the speakers that we get for affordable TVs are slightly on the lower wattage side.
I think there is audience for there, but mainly like whenever people have time, they are restricting themselves like to the OTT platform. So mainly consuming through that. The main news source is through OTT only, I would say.
I think probably I slightly differ on this one. Television, as you rightly said, as a like in terms of the sound quality which is there. So probably people would, for music, I think either they would put on something on their ears or probably listen to the music or this one. But anyway, having said that, now the new things are catching up. Most of the televisions now which are coming with a really good sound. For example, we saw that as a pain point, and then that's where we introduced our new television with Harman Kardon, and also these sound bars which we are planning to introduce. So these are some things which probably will integrate as a product for this music listening.
Let's come to this whole form factor debate. We have seen an incredible shift in the way TVs look in the last 15 years and how technologies have come down all the way to the price point of 15,000 rupees. Would you want to share a bit of a chronology, if you may?
I think TV industry as a whole, it has transformed a lot in the last decade. So I would like to break this down into 4 different points. First is the change in the type of content itself. So earlier, the content was more focused towards family entertainment, but now people want dynamic content and they are looking for personalized entertainment. That's why we have seen the rise of OTT platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime Video. Second is the change in the device type itself. Because of the rising internet penetration, the industry is transforming or transitioning from non-smart TVs to smart TVs. So as per our analysis, in Q2 2024, the smart TV penetration stood at 97%. It was the highest ever. This is the record. And we feel that after the pandemic period, people are spending more time at home and they are looking for different type of content. And even the variety of content is now much more as compared to the earlier period. Another major change that we are seeing is the rise in the consumer awareness. So today, consumers are smart enough, they are tech savvy, and they can compare different features. So earlier, no one was talking about that. But
I think we have to be blamed for being that comparison website.
Yeah, we could say that, but right. So we see that consumers are smart enough. They are making informed decisions these days. So this is one of the big change that we are seeing. Other than that, as you mentioned, like there are quite a few technical changes in the hardware side as well. So just take the example of display. So that industry has transformed from LEDs to QLEDs and OLED these days. And as per our research, we found that even the display resolution has also gone up. We found out that more than half of the smart TVs that were sold in Q2 24 were 4K enabled. Apart from that, there are like AI-based integration as well to provide personalized recommendation based on the viewer's past watching history. So all those kind of changes we are seeing overall.
When you put it that way, it's a very thin slice of time, but then a lot of evolution happening, right?
Right. So I think OEMs right now are, if I just have to put it in one word, OEMs are trying to simplify the user experience to the maximum extent possible these days.
And what about your point of view, being an OEM yourself?
So I have a, completely, when I started my career, I've been selling a black and white television. And I see today we are selling a mini LED. That's a transition which I've seen. And we used to sell that round TVs. The 21-inch was the biggest size which we could sell at that time. And the number of channels, half of you will not even believe that, 8 channel was the TV. And then we used to have a remote less. There was a TV without remote and with remote.
Oh, so remote was an add-on.
Remote was an add-on. You have to pay about 15,500 rupees extra for the remote television. That's how I've seen this industry growing. And even like today, we are talking about, as she rightly said, the LED started coming in. Those were dumb LED, what we call as in a crude way, dumb LED, which were just display devices. And then the smart TV started coming, and then the overall experience of from HD to FHD, then 4K, then 8K, then the screen sizes started growing from a 24-inch to 32 and 32 inches to 55. And today we are talking 98 on an average per day. We sell about 5 televisions across India.
I was actually thinking about that. Are the aspirations rising, or is the income rising so that people can afford these kind of TVs? Because the house also has to match the size of the TV, right? At the end of the day.
See, it's both. The aspiration. See, earlier, people probably had money, but there was no aspiration. Now with the Gen Z coming in, that aspiration has started going up. So they don't mind experimenting on a large screen television. Second is, as a OEM, we are also encouraging with the consumer finance schemes which are coming up, because that culture has changed that, save now, buy later, to buy now, pay later. That change has happened. So we are seeing that trend, and like during this festival, we are saying pay 1994 and take home a 55-inch television, pay 3994, take home a 75-inch television. So I think, as you rightly said, I think aspiration has really gone up.
And I think with the aspiration, the technology has picked up. QLED TV is available at around 30,000 rupees, 27,000 rupees these days. What's happening in the market?
Yeah, so we are seeing the trend of QLED picking up predominantly, and there are like a lot of TVs which were not available in less than 30,000 price point with QLED technology. 43-inch QLED is the new demanding feature that we are seeing in the market. And but yeah, like this factor is already there and is picking up, but still the market is more LED based only because of the pricing factor. So LED continues to serve as the most cost effective factor, and it is more suitable for 32-inch and 43-inch, and QLEDs are more till now also they are more towards the premium and the mid segment. But we feel that LEDs, they might not be replacing the QLEDs might not be replacing the LEDs. And I think the current penetration stood at around 8% for QLED TVs in the overall smart TV market as per Q2. And this represents 72% growth as compared to last period.
Oh, just the 8% share is
but it went 72% growth if you compare it with the last period.
Correct. And just talking about QLEDs, there have been several companies that went a little obsolete back in the day. Kodak, Westinghouse, they have been revived by licensing deals made by makers like SPPL and Incal. Incal is now making panels for Acer as well. Do you think this is partly due to the taxation policies and the government policies that we have, because they want things to be made in India?
See what is, okay, it's not about taxation, probably it's just, run of the mill. Because this industry we've been seeing, I've been in this industry for now almost 30 years. A lot of overnight, fly-by-night operators will come, do it and then go. But one thing is very clear. This is an industry where after sales makes a lot of difference. You know, I've seen so many brands coming up and then going down because today in India, when you're selling a product, when it goes to a remote place and you're giving a warranty of 2 years, 3 years, it's a responsibility which you're taking as an organization. And it's also a responsibility towards the dealer who has sold it. You know, so such organization probably I see a very, okay, of course, India is too big. Your online platforms are available, they'll come and go. But I think the brands which have deep root in terms of R&D, production, and then after sales service, I think those are the brands which will actually survive.
Right. That's a really interesting take. Any views on UIs, guys, like WebOS versus Google TV debate? Which one do you prefer?
Yeah, of course, Google is one what we have been using. It has a lot of flexibility. Of course, when we compare the other platforms which are available, I think it has much more flexible and much more adaptive. And of course, with the so much of research happening on the Google platform, I think the innovation is much more ahead of time compared to the other. And it's an open-ended system. You know, as an OEM, we have that flexibility to arrange ourselves into various things which are required rather than, having a closed system.
So I believe a good OS, it is the backbone of your smart TV experience, basically influencing everything from ease of use to the type of content that is available on your TV. So if you just talk about like the Google versus WebOS, I would say Google TV these days, it has picked up a lot, and currently it is capturing around 39% share in the total TV market. And then next comes is the Tizen, which has around 17% share, and the WebOS has around 16% share. One reason is obviously like Google TV is open to more OEMs, while Tizen is more associated with Samsung and WebOS is with LG. But overall, we are seeing that the growing ecosystem of Google is actually helping, because it is connecting everything seamlessly between smartphones to smart TVs. And the focus is more on ease of use.
And when it comes to like that one little innovation or an existing feature in a TV that might just pick up going forward, like in the next 5 years or so, is there anything as such that comes to your mind? So for example, in smartphones, I would say that foldables is all the new hype. Mm-hmm. Is there any such specific feature that you think will pick
so
up?
if you talk about TV, there will not be like too much addition of the new features, like you are adding new capabilities there, but within the existing features, OEMs are trying to refine those. Like now they are more improvement on the picture quality itself, and AI based picture quality enhancement that we are seeing these days, which is the one important factor. Second is the sound quality. So earlier, there was not too much focus, and it was like one of the main deciding criteria. People were not happy about that. So now the more focus is on the sound quality enhancement. So I think the consumer experience, firstly, and primarily it depends upon these two areas, like your display and the sound quality. So these are the primary factors. Then comes the other factors like your display size and whether it has smart home integration or like other factors as well. But those are not the actual decision maker. But these, I think, are the main thing that we are seeing in terms of the new trend.
Right. And do you think consumers are preferring the whole analogy of bigger is better in terms of TV?
Of course, yes. See, bigger, better. I think the sports, entertainment, which is catching up, I think the screen size will definitely keep increasing. We're seeing that trend as a future trend also.
Now, the biggest fight for any person who's buying any kind of appliance or any kind of device is after sales. How does that look like in the current state of the market? Are there any specific players that have a very high satisfaction rating, so on and so forth?
Currently, consumers are more inclined towards offline sales only. So around 66% of the market is still offline driven. Although online is picking up, but majority of the market is still offline. So we believe that after sales service actually plays a big role. So those players who are more offline centric, who have those good distribution channels and the service centers in place, they are really doing well in the market.
How much of a typical hand holding do you do for customers? Like when the journey starts, you're supposed to be telling them how the TV works, if this is an advanced TV, and the buyer is, let's say, a little bit of like the older age group. Do you think that hand holding is also required?
Definitely. See, generally what happens, what we have seen, a few of the customers I went along with my engineer without referring this one, just to see what's the thing. When a new television is thing, most of the customers, so they are very eager to just set the television. Okay, let me understand. Okay, this is how I connect, this is how I change. Okay. And anything when you're trying to explain them beyond, probably at that point, they are not too keen to learn. Okay, they'll say, okay, I understood. That's when we realized that, okay, at this point, let's do the basic. We ensure from our side, the call goes to the customer, asking, hey, you bought this product, how is it? Okay, you're using this feature, but have you used these features? Most of the time, we'll say, okay, we have not. So then we say, okay, can we send an engineer again back to you? Or can we send, if you don't have the time or this one, can we send a video link where you can use it? And this is how you can set this program. Those are the things which we are trying to enhance the value to the consumer.
Correct. So let's just wrap this conversation up with a small thing, and that is just 3 pointers that any consumer should be looking at before buying a smart TV. Let's start with the data-driven side of things.
Yeah, sure. So I think price is the most important factor while going for the purchase. We are seeing there is premiumization trend. So people are actually willing to pay more if they are getting good quality products. So like if they are getting the desired features which they want, they are actually willing to pay extra. Screen size is another one, which is the major deciding factor. Earlier, the market was more towards like 32-inch. Then slowly 43-inch became the dominant screen size last year. But today I should say that a 55-inch is the new 43-inch. And the average number of TVs per household is also going up. It's also a new trend that we are seeing. So earlier we already we had only one TV like per household or two TVs. But now every consumer, they have if they have 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms, they want similar sort of experience which they have in their living room. They want similar experience in their bedroom as well. And one thing which we have not talked about is the gaming capabilities, targeting the gamers. So we have seen the trend of cloud gaming and next gen consoles which is picking up. So TVs which can provide better refresh rate, low latency and specific dedicated gaming features. So these could also attract especially the gamers community.
Just to add on point, probably in my view, if somebody is looking for a television, to buy a television, I would say look for something which is futuristic in terms of AI, where how your whole home can be connected. If your requirement is for gaming, there's a different television available. If your experience is for your living room, then probably the large screen experience makes a difference. So pick that as per your choice. Of course, the sound is another important. Now with so many technology which is happening, your Dolby Atmos, it really enhances. It's not just a feature which is being put in the television. It really enhances your viewing experience. And of course, your operating system, how flexible it is. I think based on these factors, I think you should decide. But one piece of advice is, if you're planning to buy a 43 inches, I would say upgrade yourself to a 55. Because we have seen a customer, after 4-5 months, they realize, yeah, we should have upgraded. So if you're looking at, I would say, go one screen size above what you're planning to buy right now, so that you're future ready.
Makes sense. We have pearls of wisdom. And with that, that's a wrap for this episode of MSP Tech in Focus. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And then we are going to see you in the next one. Thank you so much.
Thank you.